right, we're back for week 4. I'm joined by Cason right now. Chris and Dillon should have some others joining in. We'll get right into it after the very, very, very interesting week 3 in the NFL. Lots of odd games, crazy endings. But we'll start off with the Thursday game this week with the NFC West matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. Me and Devin are the only ones that went Cardinals here. I okay, so the Seahawks just absolutely blew out the Saints, took their foot off the gas pedal a little bit in that game because they were up like what, 38-6 at halftime or something. Josh is coming in here right now. So I didn't really want to I didn't really want to pick the Cardinals in this game, but I was like, I might as well try to catch up with somebody in this. Devin, I know, is just kind of a big Kyler Murray guy. Um, this game just doesn't interest me at all. I just really hope that we don't see those ugly ass lime green uniforms for the Seahawks in this game, but they usually do wear those on Thursday nights. So, Kaysen, you are 26-22 on the year. I think that's worse than Josh ever was at any point last year. So, you got anything to say?
Yep. It's been a tough start, as Chris put. Never forget my 6 and 10 week in the top left-hand corner there. Added it on, you
Yeah.
know. Um, we never forget some things that happened in September.
After
That's crazy.
Chris's out of pocket comment last week and everything else that has happened in the month of September.
Yeah, like the Browns beating the Packers.
Yeah, that too. We won't talk about that one. And yet we all want Packers again this week. So I
We
think it's
didn't learn our lesson.
a little bit of reverse psychology for some of these Vikings fans picking them. Um, yeah, I don't think anyone wants to talk about that Thursday game. It's probably gonna be a decent game, but
It's gonna be 12-9, Tim. You
just
know it's
boring.
coming.
Yeah, just boring game. But what I am excited for is to wake up at 8:30 in the morning and watch Irish Rodgers here just absolutely cook that Vikings defense after the Vikings defense had the game of the year against Jake Browning and the Bengals. Isaiah Rodgers with what they call is one of the greatest defensive performances of all time. Um, so let's see. Chris, Lurs, Jose, and me, and I think Davis and Cooper all went Steelers. I saw some stat that Aaron Rodgers in the last couple of years is like 32 touchdowns to 0 picks against the NFC North teams. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty impressive. And I don't know, I feel like the Vikings are gonna be riding that high off that. And I don't, has Rodgers ever played in over like an overseas game?
Last year, Jets Vikings.
Oh, he did. Okay, he did. Yeah, that game was, well, I don't know. I wanted to go Steelers because I really just want to see Rodgers cook them to start the morning, and then we go into all these shitty games at noon, shitty games at afternoon, shitty Sunday night football game, the god awful Monday night football games, just a terrible week in general. Um, Dylan, you went with the Vikings.
Yeah, and I'm not going to sit here and be like Carson Wentz is the savior, this and that. Like I've seen way too much of that on social media, whether it's Vikings fans or not. I mean, that Bengals team is just atrocious. It's more so, I mean, the Vikings defense, I get they played a horrible team, but they did look a little more put together with Harrison Smith back out there. Van Ginkel played 8 snaps and had 2 sacks. Um, I mean, the defense looked much better, and the protection of Carson Wentz looked a lot better, simply just having Darisaw out there. So, with that being said, I'm going with the Vikings. I'm still not a believer and sold on the Steelers. They've looked very underwhelming this year. And it sucks that that's a morning game.
You're just mad because they beat your closet Patriots team, aren't you?
I could care less, dude. They can lose every game this year, and I'll just hear the locals at the bar be pissed. So
Um, yeah, I'm one of those people that does think that Carson Wentz is an improvement for the Vikings over JJ McCarthy. Josh, I know that you're not, so I know you were gonna go Vikings regardless in this game.
Regardless, you're
Yeah.
right. I have picked them every year or every game so far this year, but Steelers still don't look very impressive. So I don't see any reason to be scared of the Steelers, that's for sure.
What about how about Chase Brown last week too? What did he have? Like 9 carries for 6 yards or 3 yards or
bro,
something
he's
ridiculous like
averaging like
that?
2 yards per carry this year.
It was terrible.
It might be less. It might be 1.8. Yeah, and he is my second round fantasy pick. So
But I will say that yeah, I spent freaking like $34 on him in the Dynasty League. So it was
honestly, it could be a lot worse.
Caden was trying to get Malik Neighbors from me today, and I said, Caden, why the hell would you even try? Team sucks, but I'm not sailing him off.
Okay.
But Jalen Warren did look very good in that Steelers Patriots game, Josh. I know you were once a believer on him. Now you think that I just overrate him, but
Well, you do overrate him. I still like him. Still a good player for sure, but we'll see who's a better back between him and Jordan Mason.
sorry, yeah, let's have Kenneth Gainwell take over that backfield. Yeah, it's a bold strategy there. Yeah. Anyway, we'll have the interesting game now to talk about. I mean, we all went one way on this with the Chargers, but the big news of the week is that Jackson Dart is officially named starter of the Giants now. Cam Scatterby is RB1 as he should have been at the beginning of the year because Tyrone Tracy sucks. Yeah, Dylan, I said it.
He does suck. What do you mean? I'm not a believer
Dylan, you've
in
always
him.
been a big Tyrone Tracy guy.
That is not true at all. I think I had him in fantasy last year, but I do I do want to read the tweet that I sent some of you guys earlier this week that said there's two types of white running backs, cerebral thinkers like McCaffrey and absolute crayon eaters like Scattaboo. It rules. It's very fitting. It is.
Yeah, I had no idea that my dad was a massive Scatterby fan, but he said I watch highlights of him and that guy's freaking awesome. So love to see that. Have you guys noticed that he looks a lot like Jackson too? Have you guys ever seen like him? Do you guys not think he looks
I don't
just
see
like
it.
Jackson?
There's some similar facial features, but I wouldn't say they look
He's
that
got the
close.
biggest head of all time.
Jackson
A
Yankee, for
younger
those who don't know.
Jackson. I think they look like side by side comparison. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, Jackson's not a crayon eater like Cam Scatterby is, but um this game is in the Meadowlands, so does anybody see a possibility now without Russ at quarterback, the Giants winning this game? Or the
Um,
Chargers just look too good?
Not really, but I mean, I'm a Jackson Dart believer. I think he has some great offensive tools to make him look good. I think he's got a pretty tough schedule coming up that he's kind of just getting thrown into, so it's going to be a lot of figuring things out. Um, but on the flip side, Najee Harris died. Amari Hampton breakout game looked really, really good. And Justin Herbert, with how much he's throwing the ball and how good he's looked, he should legitimately be in these MVP conversations. And I've never been like super high in his passing game. I've always thought he's a good quarterback, but I think that's something that's not talked about that much.
I think yeah, it was Jose that had Herbert as his MVP pick. I think he should probably be the front runner right now. I think Allen, Baker, and Herbert are probably the top three. I'm probably missing somebody too, but
Lamar, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Lamar's 1-2 though right now. Could be
Yeah.
1-3 after this week.
God, their defense is not that good. I mean, I get they
That's
played
a
some good teams,
He
but
was
they,
he was fighting for his life last night too, just trying to
yeah.
escape anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, save that one for later, but one of those teams is going to be 1-3.
True.
Yeah.
Kind of hyped for that. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Chris, I need to ask you, how do you say Crayon?
Crayons.
Okay. I thought
Crayon.
you were one of the people that said that they were crown.
Crowns. They're crowns.
Yeah. Because he was hating on how we were saying the word crayon.
Yeah.
Saying instead of like crane. But anyway, um, AFC South matchup, both these teams look atrocious. And I once again picked the Titans for whatever reason. I'm way too high on them. Josh, I'm you from last year, just constantly picking them. But I also went them again this week. Kobe went them, Chris went them, Cooper and Davis. Kobe, what makes you go Titans in this game?
I just think they'll finally get a win here because the Texans' offensive line is terrible. The defense is scary, but I think Cam Ward can hopefully overcome a couple turnovers here, and Calvin Ridley can hopefully catch the ball and we get a dub.
Yeah, the connection to Io Manor's been looking better than the one to Ridley, that's for sure.
That is true.
Cam Ward is, I don't know, he's shown flashes, but at the same time, like his pick six from last week to Tony Pollard, God, that was atrocious. So it was also a bad job by Pollard just sitting out there and letting it happen, which we all know my feeling on Tony Pollard. I think he sucks. But Chris, you also went Titans. Do you have any reason behind it? Or the vibe's just high? Chris, you're muted.
Sorry. I mute my mic. The vibes are just high. Yeah, that's it. Cam Ward's gonna ball at some point. CJ Stroud's looks fucking ass. So that's what the vibes are telling me. Cason went 6-10.
CJ Stroud does look terrible, and Cason 6-10. So why'd you pick the Texans in this one?
These two teams both suck, but I trust the Texans defense. I remember before the season saying, why are the Texans trading Laramie Tunzel? Their offensive line already sucks ass, and now it sucks ass even more, and their offense is atrocious. I have a little faith in maybe their offense to pick it up at some point, but it's going to be a low scoring defensive battle, and I think it's going to be like 15-9 or something.
Yeah, definitely two solid defenses. Probably a good matchup to have kickers in fantasy for this, either Joey Sly or Kaimi Fairbairn.
Joey
I
Sly.
well, I literally dropped both of those fuckers because they got me negative points last week. Fuck the both of them. I picked up Joey Sly like I'm not gonna do this. I fucking hate Joey Sly. I was like, well,
He did,
it's better than what I have, and this fucker
did
gets me
kick,
negative points.
he did kick like a 57-yarder. I didn't see his other misses though.
Shout out Joey Sly and Madden.
Yeah, he is a good Madden kicker.
Did you see Brian Callahan is given over his play calling duties?
Really?
Yep. He's giving it to the OC. I forget his name, but maybe that'll help him not make more on timeout decisions.
Is that is that why you want the Texans though, or did that make you want to choose the
Yeah,
Titans?
mainly because he's the worst head coach in the league. I've never seen a mistake like that before in my life. Uh, I believe the Colts called the timeout, and then they called the timeout, and then they got to delay a game, and then they kicked it after your kicker already missed a long one. You think he's gonna fucking make that one? No.
I will
Egregious
say
mistake.
I hardly watched any of that game. That was one
It
of the
was
games I
I
barely
was
watched.
watching it live and I couldn't believe what I just watched. They took a delay a game, backed it up even farther. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he'll be canned after this year, I'm sure. Um, this one's kind of interesting to me. I was expecting everyone to go Commanders in this after whatever the hell that performance was by the Falcons last week against Carolina, but Kaysen, you went Falcons in this.
I'm still not a believer in either doped up Commanders after last week was by far their best offensive performance of the year. I'd say neither teams looked great and kind of suspect at best, kind of on and off, where, they had the highs of for the Falcons of beating the Vikings, the highs for the Commanders with last week. But I mean, both teams are kind of iffy to me. I think they're kind of in the same realm. I think they had a game last year, late in the year, when it was one of Penix's first starts where it came down to the final minute. So I'm kind of expecting the same thing here again. And I'm expecting the Falcons to either bounce back or to have a new coach in a few weeks.
I could fully see this game being a really random game that like ends up going into overtime, but um I went Commanders. Jaden Daniels should be back. Penix looked god awful last week. It does help that it's in Atlanta, but Dylan, you got anything to say about this one?
I mean, I'm embarrassed that the Vikings got smoked by the Falcons. That's all I can really say because after how bad the Falcons looked this past week, I think he could have put almost any team in the league against them, and everyone would have probably picked against them. I mean, that was atrocious. And I mean, if you saw the box score too, like the stat comparison, the Falcons won so many of the like important like yardage categories, passing yards, rushing yards, like yards per play, like everything like that, and they still just got absolutely smoked. It was a horrible game.
So the next game, Saints and Bills. The only thing I'm going to say is how early does Mitch Trubisky come into this game?
Third quarter.
If we saw the Seahawks put up almost 50 on them at halftime, what are the Bills going to do to them, especially in Buffalo?
I see this being a random game that the Bills only win by like 15 then because they're just gonna like mess around for the first half and it's gonna be like 12-6 or 3 or something like that. And then they'll score 30 in the third quarter.
I don't even know if the Saints offense can put up that many points in a quarter or in a half, though. So, um, obviously, none of us went that way. Not surprising at all. That's probably gonna be a lot of people's survivor picks this week.
Not
Um,
mine. I'm the only one out.
No, I'm out.
No,
yeah,
I'm out
Okay.
too.
Kobe's miraculous streak ended thanks to Green Bay.
Yep. Shout out the Super Bowl
Hey,
champs.
be your own people.
No, I
Oh,
picked Atlanta.
yeah, you did pick Atlanta,
Oh
actually.
well,
As I say, Atlanta just screwed me.
put your trust in Michael Penis.
My 20 game win streak was put to rest because of Atlanta.
That's tough. I was really considering doing one revive this year too, but I'm like, people would probably get pissed at that. So,
That's okay.
um, probably the most intriguing matchup, one of the most intriguing for sure. Eagles, Buccaneers, Buccaneers at home. All I got to say about the Buccaneers game last week too is Baker had yet again another 2 minute drive where he goes on and wins the game. Also, those creamsicle uniforms, the white ones and not like the orangish ones. Oh, those are nice. Anybody else think that those are like one of the best throwbacks?
They're
Those
so
are pretty
sick.
solid.
They had those, and the Patriots had the um, Pat Patriot too. Those were nice.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots losing those though. But let's see. Chris, Lurs, Brady, Bush, Carter, Devin, Cooper, and Davis all went Buccaneers. Everyone on here though, except for Chris, went Eagles. Um, Cason, I know you want to talk about Jalen Hurts.
A running back? Yeah, mainly I went Eagles because their offense finally decided to wake up in the second half against the Rams after they were getting just kind of beat down by the Rams. AJ Brown existed again. That was kind of nice having him in like 2 fantasy leagues. Jalen Hurts actually did something, but I don't have him, so it doesn't really matter to me. More so, I think it's just the injuries are starting to mount on the Buccaneers already. Mike Evans is out, what, 3 to 4 weeks. Godwin's not back yet. Egbuka was beat up before last game. He played most of the game, but he was like on a play count they were saying before the game. So if he doesn't miraculously get a little bit healthier this week, they could be kind of down on the receiving corner. They're going to be down there regardless. So I like the Eagles here with, a healthier team and after that big comeback win against the Rams.
If there was ever a week to pick up K. Dotton in fantasy, this might be the week. I don't know. He's a solid option, but they just don't give the ball to him now that they have Egbuka and other targets on offense. I guess you could argue Sterling Shepard too, but
Yeah, Sterling Shepard week here.
Sterling Shepard's just gross, so I will not say that one.
It's better
Uh,
than Scotty Miller.
yeah, true. That is better than Scotty Miller. No,
Because he's white, isn't it?
Hey, Josh, what do you have to say?
I agree with everything Kason said as far as the game and why the Eagles will win. The Bucks are. I said watching the game, I wish I was a Bucks fan. They're a really cool team. I like Bucky a lot. Those jerseys were sick, but play the most stacked roster in the NFL. But the only chance they have is I don't know if you guys saw this. Desmond Watson, I think he signed him. So their
Yeah, he
only chance
did.
to stop the tush push is stick Desmond Watson out there.
Oh,
And I
God.
hope we get to see it.
All
Desmond Watson and Vita
460
Vea.
pounds.
Yep. Yep.
Will it matter if they're still false starting and everything? Is Desmond Watson
No, it probably
that
won't matter
bad?
because they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I don't know. It's just like, how can both the Chiefs and the Eagles just be such unlikable teams? I don't know. Um, uh, Chris, you picked the Buccaneers. You got anything to say about them?
No, just not big on the Eagles right now.
Just vibes pick.
Vibes pick. That's actually what I did for most of these. I just kind of looked at the list and just highlighted them and sent them to you. The
All
only
right,
one I didn't vibes pick on was probably the Patriots Panthers, but we can get into that later.
you are kind of different on some of these. Something that no one's different on. Got to give a shout out to Hunter Fitton if he's watching this episode now. Yeah, we did not pick the Lions in the last one on Monday Night Football. And I think what did the entire network too also go with the Ravens? I know Nelson sent me something earlier today and he said you should Photoshop the MozPod on this because it was everybody from ESPN just picking the Ravens in that one as well. Just looked just like us. Lions looked impressive. Anybody have any worry with that Cleveland Browns defense after what they did to the Packers and Jordan Love last week?
I feel the Packers offense isn't as prolific as the Lions offense can be. They have a little more weapons than we do. So I feel the Lions have a better chance at putting up some points on offense.
I also trust if the Lions can pass block and stay in rhythm more than Love with Goff. He keeps in rhythm a little bit better. Love likes to throw off his rhythm a little bit. Um, Browns run defense though, off to a crazy start against Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Chase Brown. They held Burrow to 17, held the Ravens for 3 quarters, and then they started throwing pick sixes and getting field goals blocked and stuff like that, punt block, whatever else happened, and then held the Packers. So defense is the real deal here, but tough in Detroit.
It's very true. I was also fully expecting when I was watching that Packers game, Flacco was just getting booed like crazy, and I was like, when do they put in Dillon Gabriel? But then they never did, and Flacco ended up winning them the game, even though he really did nothing in that game. It was more of Quinshon Judkins and Harold Fannin on offense, a little bit of an Njoku too. And obviously the defense. I think the Packers pass blocking was the worst in like the entire StatCast era since like 2006. Like every one of their linemen was just god awful.
Did you see oh, what's his name? Michigan D tackle, the rookie. I can't think of his name right now.
Mason Graham.
Yeah, did you see his pass rush win rate through 3 weeks?
Yes. Did you also see Jordan Morgan in that game? Holy shit, I was so pissed off when they picked him. And
He's
that guy
terrible.
has to be the worst pick I have ever seen the Packers do.
Derek Sherrod.
Definitely. Yeah,
Tim, we've had some pretty rough picks.
I know we have, but holy shit, that guy sucks. 4 false start penalties within a
Yeah.
half. Are you
I
kidding?
feel we beat ourselves more than the Browns beat us. I mean,
Oh,
no discredit to their spectacular defense, but we definitely beat ourselves more than they beat us.
well, LaFleur was calling plays like a dumbass, and Jordan Love's pick, he always just does that once a year at least. Just throws the most stupid ass pick you've ever seen. I don't know what he was doing on that play, trying to get it to Tucker Kraft again. Didn't go anywhere near him. And just ended up in the arms of, I don't remember who it even was, but holy shit.
All I know is I hope this is our wake up call and just we start putting up some points.
Yeah, Rasheed Walker also looks like a dumbass for saying they're going to go undefeated, and then he's sitting there getting bitched by Myles Garrett, saying, "Run, Jordan, run!" Oh my God, that's funny as hell. If anybody saw any of that.
Yeah.
So then Patriots and Panthers. I went Panthers, Cason went Panthers, Davis went Panthers, everyone else Patriots. I went Panthers because they're coming off that hot win. They showed flashes in that comeback against the Cardinals a couple weeks ago. And I don't know. I'm just not on this Patriots train at all. One, I think Drake May is very overrated, even though he's not really rated to begin with, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's people like Brady Nelson that overrate the shit out of him and Cole Noctegal. Dylan, if you know, you know. Um,
I like Cole.
well, he's sitting there sending me shit on Instagram, Drake May fan club, and it's just like it's watching Chris Collinsworth just stroke off Patrick Mahomes an
He's
entire
baiting you, and it's
I
working.
don't care. I don't care if he's sitting there baiting me or
That's
not.
bait.
Drake May does suck. There's nothing about him that impresses me. He didn't impress me against the Steelers defense, which we've seen is not nearly as good as they were made out to be. Ramondre Stevenson remains the worst freaking running back in the NFL. Oh my God, that dude sucks.
Can we get a Henderson season?
Please, dude. He
Definitely.
hasn't
RB1.
bro hasn't fumbled in like 700 carries, and they just won't give him the ball.
And yet you're giving it to Ramondre Stevenson, who
And
fumbled.
Antonio Gibson. Ew.
Hey, Antonio Gibson had that kick return week 1.
Right. He's just stick to kick returns.
It's even gross that he's back there on kick returns.
I,
But
I will say Drake May, I feel a little bad because his receiving options suck. I mean, he's making Hunter Henry look solid, and Hunter Henry is
Hunter
just
Henry with 2 tuds, don't disrespect him.
That's
I mean,
right.
he just has no
Also,
one to throw through.
how
Throw
about
it to.
Austin Hooper being wide receiver or tight end 2 for them? I did not even realize that he was
Yeah.
playing in
I didn't
the
even know he was still in the league.
Oh my God, I saw that. I was like, ain't no way that's Austin Hooper. But did you guys also see Ted McMillan climb the ladder like 10 freaking feet in that game too against the
That was nuts.
Falcons? Holy shit.
The dude's a freak athlete.
Yeah. He's I don't know. I'm going with the Panthers mostly off vibes, stealing it from Chris here. But like I said, the Patriots just are not a good team in my mind at all. And I hope Nelson sits here and watches this at work tomorrow and he just messages me 100 freaking messages about how why the hell are you sitting there shitting on the Patriots? Cason, you went Panthers.
I was higher on the Patriots. Like I thought if they were just average with that schedule, they could actually make a run at the playoffs because their schedule is so easy. And then I watched the game last week after watching a couple of their other games, and I'm like, this team's 5-11 with an easy schedule, or 5-12. They suck ass. So I have a little more faith in the Panthers right now, which is saying something. But I want to hear from the Panthers fan why he didn't pick the Panthers.
Um, man, I don't know. The Panthers looked good last week, and like Tim said, showed flashes at the end of the Cardinals game. It's just what Panthers team's going to come out there. And I also kind of truly believe that the Falcons, I know it was like 30-0, but the Falcons lost that game. The Panthers didn't exactly win it. I mean, Penix just looked fucking terrible. It was like I was watching a Mike Bobo offense, and then he was also on defense calling plays. It was just pretty fucking awful by the Falcons all around. Um, I don't know. I'm after weeks 1 and 2. I'm not super high on the Panthers. We'll see though. It's kind of a toss up. I could see the Panthers easily winning this, but at the same time, which what Bryce Young and what offensive line is going to show up to this game?
I don't
After,
think I've seen a more bipolar team than the Panthers. They're either on fire and destroy or they're just terrible.
That's how it was at the end last year too. It was fucking
That
weird.
is true.
after week 1 and 2, I wouldn't be high on the Patriots either at all. So yeah, just a battle of mid in that. Like you said, it just depends on what Panthers team shows up. You know what
It's
that
not even mid, Tim. That's the battle of ass.
Okay, did the Panthers lose to the Browns last week? Because I don't think we did.
All right. This one I am interested on that we're like pretty much evenly split on is the 49ers and Jags. Um, let's see. Caden went Jags, that was obvious. Kobe went Jags, Chris, Lurs, me, Carter, Devin, Davison, Cason. Kobe, you went Jags.
I'm gonna ride high with the Jags. They've been looking okay. I'm hoping Brian Thomas gets a little more involved or can at least catch the ball. But Honestly, the reason I picked this is the Niners just cannot stay healthy. It's one player after another just going down.
Yeah, now Nick Bosa out for a year.
Yeah, and it's not like minor injuries. This is like season ending for a lot of their players or long term. So honestly, I just think they're too banged up to win this game.
Speaking of Brian Thomas Jr., have you seen the Shane Waldron effect?
Well, I don't think I have.
The passing game coordinator for the
Yeah.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
And who were the other teams that he was on?
It was
Seahawks and
Seahawks and
Bears.
JSN,
Bills.
Rams.
JSN, and who else was it?
He was on the Bears last year.
Yeah, it
Okay,
was
so
the year
Roma
before he
Dudes
was.
they
So
break
Rome.
out, and before that he was with the Seahawks, and JSN breakout after he leaves.
Yeah. So Shane Waldron effect with that one. That might be the case, but who knows? I also think they need to just play Travis Hunter on offense more. I mean, I get that he's trying to sit there and play both sides of the ball. But
Yeah, they need to pick one.
at the end of the day, yeah, you're not Deion Sanders. You're not doing that. So, um, let's see, Josh, I'm interested to see why you picked the Niners in this.
I mean, the Jags kind of look like a mess right now, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't want to be on any side of picking the Jags. Who do you trust at head coach and play calling? I trust Shanahan all day. It's also in San Fran, trip across the country. Nick Bosa being out, not ideal, but I think you'd let loose their first round pick. And yeah, I'm thinking Purdy's back is what I've been hearing, so I trust the Niners
I don't know.
way more than I trust the Jags.
Mac Jones has looked pretty serviceable.
Yes, serviceable,
Mac
but
Jones' revenge game against his backup team.
also that, yeah, good point.
Can I get Mac Jones back on the Jags so Brian Thomas can just eat?
So I don't have to see that long-haired fuck out there too.
Yes. Yes, he is terrible.
Tim, I want to hear your rationale to actually having to pick Trevor Lawrence. That's like you picked the Bears to it. So that's like you picking the
Oh my
Bears.
gosh.
And I picked the Dolphins too with Tua. I just picked all my least favorite quarterbacks this week.
Oof.
I didn't pick CJ Stroud though. But I picked Kyler Murray too. Holy shit. I would go off with the quarterbacks that I just hate. Honestly, it mostly has to do with the injuries. Um, the Jags more, I don't know, the Texans almost lost that game compared to the Jags winning it last week. It was just a sloppy game from both sides. Texans made a few stupid turnovers at the end of the game. But what we're not realizing is that the 49ers 100% should have lost to the Cardinals last week. And it all came down to Ricky Pearsall at the end of the game and McCaffrey and then setting up that game-winning field goal. So I'm not, I know that the 49ers were my letdown team and they're currently undefeated, so that one's not looking too good. But nothing that they have done has impressed me. Like there's just nothing to it. They won a game 16-15 last week against the Arizona Cardinals. Like, congrats. What are we applauding them that for? But then again, the Jags also suck balls, so I don't know.
Uh,
I kind of just went with the team that seems like they should have the better offense. You got Biashal Tootin out there. He's kind of stealing some tuds. You got Travis Etienne. He looks not horrible like he has in the past. If they can get Brian Thomas Jr. figured out, that'd be nice. But also shout out to Brenton Strange. That man
Yes,
is a
sir.
freaking monster. An
Thank you.
absolute monster on third down conversions. Oh my God.
I wish Caden was on here. I've been trying to tell him about Strange for
Oh, I
about
love
3 weeks
Strange.
now.
He's like my Kate Otten of the AFC. I absolutely love that guy. But yeah, I don't know, no really rationale behind it. I don't like either of these teams, and I think the Niners are just not actually 3-0. They shouldn't be. So
Funny
um
enough, the Jags should be 3-0 too.
I know. Cason, you also went Jags though.
Literally just injuries, and that can sum up us talking about this game as I just went with the healthier team that has a decent run game and if they get their pass game going to Thomas and to Hunter somewhat too, they might be decent, which is kind of weird to say, but TBD if Trevor Lawrence can actually do that.
How about Parker Washington too?
Been putting up solid numbers.
I know he's kind of, I don't know. They have some players there. I'm shocked Caden's not on this, just riding them right now. But on to the next. So we got one of the more intriguing matchups again with the Colts and Rams. I'm not really surprised everyone went Rams for the most part, but I did think other people would go Colts. Um, I don't know. When does Daniel Jones fall off? Is
This
he
week when
gonna
Jared
fall
Verse just shoves it up his anus.
off? You have to think that's coming at some point.
This week, I'm
Daniel
telling you.
Jones is pretty mobile, though. I mean, I'm not going to say he can run away from Jared Verse, but I don't know. He has shown some flashes of actually being pretty good.
That is sad to say.
I know it is, but you know what? I also have to defend my now fantasy dynasty quarterback here because Joe Burrow sucks and he got hurt, and that's toe. So I have to ride with the Danny Dimes train, Indiana Jones as they call him. Got to respect the guy though for getting with Kay Adams to begin with. That has nothing to do with anything really. But let's see, Dillon. Dillon, you haven't talked in a while. Let's hear why you went Rams and you're not high on the Colts. Is it because Anthony Richardson, you got to see your beloved Anthony Richardson for a -1 yards last
He
week?
came in and got the save, dude. He was the reliever. Shout out to him for that. This is the week that this is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue loses. Um, Not that I'm not high on them. They've actually been way more impressive than I thought they would be this year. But I think that Rams team just looks a lot more complete. Stafford's played really well this year. All things considered, that people thought that he was a dummy and that he died or something before the season that they were saying. So they've looked really good. Puka Nacua has been a beast. Devontae Adams is finally like getting like really comfortable, which is dangerous for these opposing DBs. I think Kyron Williams is a turd, but whatever. And that defense looks pretty good. So going with the Rams.
I will say I said at the beginning of the year, I was like, Jonathan Taylor, if there's any year to draft him, this would be the year. And he has looked very good for the Colts. I also think Kyron Williams is a turd. I've never liked him. Um, Chris, you went Colts. I'm assuming it's just off vibes, no actual reason.
No, actually, I think the Colts are pretty solid. Malik Neighbor said it wasn't a quarterback problem last year, so Daniel Jones is the truth. He's never going to go bad. Colts winning the Super Bowl, and Daniel Dimes is the fucking MVP. You heard it here first.
Jesus.
That's up there with my AR takes. Damn.
Well, one's on the field, one is not, Dylan. So,
Come on.
um, yeah, I don't know. This could be a good game, or it could turn into a shit show real quick. Um, so then we'll go to the battle of the potential 1-3 teams here. Josh, you went Chiefs. Explain yourself.
Honestly, I figured everybody would mostly take the Ravens. They clearly didn't look that impressive. Not really banking on a Henry fumble again, even though the odds would say it might happen. Um, yeah, it just feels like a game where everybody counts out the Chiefs. Worthy comes back and they look better. Um, Getting them at home as underdogs. Yeah, I'll take that most of the time.
Is Isaiah likely back this week, or is he still?
He should be. I thought they were maybe gonna throw him out there this last week, but he didn't. So I would expect maybe him. But Charlie Kolar is a good player anyways. So
Mark
honestly,
Andrews actually came alive last week.
Mark Andrews looked good. But just thinking about it more, I trust Spags to kind of contain Lamar more than anybody else. Honestly, even though that defense has looked pretty average, unless you're playing the Giants. But I trust Spags to have a good game plan versus Baltimore and. I don't know, something about the Ravens, they just kind of seem to choke in these big spots.
I just think back to last year's game where Isaiah Likely had that touchdown at the end of the game that was called out of bounds.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Anybody? Most of us went Ravens. Dylan, we'll let you talk about your Ravens pick as a closet Chiefs fan.
Well, the Magic died last week as I picked the Chiefs and they won their first game and they were 0-2 and I had picked them beforehand. So at this point, didn't really matter.
They were playing Russell Wilson, Dylan. Come on.
Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Very Limited now.
Ravens, I mean, Ravens can score pretty well, and I'm not super. I mean, I get that the Chiefs are gonna probably have Worthy back, but hate that Chiefs run game. Their defense doesn't look very good. I mean, I don't know. I could see Derrick Henry running all over these guys. One thing for the Ravens is they really got to get Flowers involved more. He was non-existent last night, and it was a little concerning because he had started the year pretty well. I know Bateman stepped up, a couple other guys did. But I mean, I just think the Ravens offense is a lot better, and the Chiefs defense sucks, and so does the Ravens. But I think the Ravens is still better than that Chiefs defense. The Chiefs are just kind of a shell of what they once were, and I think it's. I mean, I'm not going to say their year's absolutely chalked, but it's not going to be the past years of the Chiefs.
I know Zay Flowers had like 7 receptions each game to start the year, and then it was just pretty much a non-factor last night, like you said. Or um, and then have you guys ever seen Rashad Bateman's Monday Night Football stats alone? For
He's
some
just a
reason,
god on Monday night, or what?
yes, for some reason he's just an absolute goblin on Monday nights, and I don't know why. But I was,
Prime time player.
yeah, I hate that. It's weird. Just a weird player to be doing that. Josh, I'm sure you're happy as a Minnesota fan there. Um, oh yeah, roll the boat. Get
Row
that
the
off
boat.
the screen. Josh, we'll have you go into the next one now. I want to know why you didn't
You
hop on
know,
this Caleb Williams train and why you're going your Geno train.
Listen, I have been kind of a Caleb defender. Obviously, he's talented and he tends to show it sometimes, but yeah, seems like a Geno game. Still not impressed by this Bears defense. Having CD go out really affected the Cowboys and they weren't fully able to take advantage. But let Chip Kelly, he's been pissing me off lately, but I think you let Chip Kelly scheme up Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers versus this Bears defense, and I trust Las Vegas, honestly. Also, I thought this was in Vegas. It says on your thing it's in Chicago.
I don't, is it in Chicago or is it in
So I
LA?
don't know. That's making me question my pick.
Let me let me look here. It's in Vegas. We have a statistical error here.
Well, it's not like anyone changes their pick. I'm not going to change mine because the Raiders, what are
I
they,
would maybe change
what are
it
they
knowing
doing with
that Tom
Ashton Jeanty,
Brady's
dude?
been scheming behind the scenes and now it's in
Oh,
Vegas for this.
also, Max Crosby versus Darnell Wright. Good luck.
Yeah, that's true. But
Assault.
what are they doing with Ashton Jeanty here? This is just annoying not watching him get the ball.
I
And
will say their O line is shit, Tim. He's
Yeah.
got negative yards before contact. That's
I was gonna
embarrassing.
say he's getting hit in the backfield
okay, well,
as he
run some
gets the
screens
ball.
to him. He can pass catch, do something.
Yeah,
If
that's why I
Gino can
said Chip
find him.
Kelly's kind of being an idiot, but
If Gino can even find him, Gino sucks, obviously.
he can find anybody
So does
anywhere on the
so
field.
does
Don't
the
worry about it.
quarterback on the other end of the field, though. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh my God, look what Caleb Williams did against the fucking Cowboys defense." Because one, it's the Cowboys defense. Two, he got drafted into this. Of course he's gonna have some game where he looks really, really good because he has an insanely good team around him. Now, I don't think DeAndre Swift is that good. I've never been a big DeAndre Swift guy, but his receiving core is crazy. And I mean, last week they were in Chicago too. That's kind of like that is why I was gonna pick them, was mostly because Soldier Field, but obviously it's in Vegas anyway. That would have made more sense too, because I was like, why are the Bears getting 2 games at home at 325 or whatever? But I will say Nelson in this game, he forgot to pick the game, but I was assuming most people would go the Bears, so I just filled out the Bears background and then just put the logos. But then he goes and he says, "Well, I didn't pick the Bears." And I said, "Well, who'd you pick?" And he said, "I didn't want to pick either team." So Nelson is sticking with the Bears though, but yeah, classic Brady move there. Should have just left it black as a black slot, but
Just an L.
yeah, or just a big T for a tie like Caden wants is for someone to call a tie.
Bro, if he would have put T there and it was a tie, if Nelson would have,
Oh,
like you should give him like 50 wins for that.
we'd also never hear the end of that either.
Nope.
Um, Chris, you picked the Raiders in this one. Is it
I
another
was
vibes pick or
I'm dangerously high to the man of the week standings, so I'm just not going to give you my thoughts on why I'm picking against the Bears this week.
okay, makes sense. Oh, by the way, our man of the week was Brady Nelson, week 1 or week whatever, 4, 3, whatever it is now.
We
Uh,
get a trophy that we just ship around for real every week.
I think we need a man of the year trophy, and
true,
it's just a
man of the
guy.
year. Like
Just
the Walter Payton man of the year, but it's the MozPod man of the year.
it's just like a
Nelson,
Lad McConkey statue or something.
Nelson is currently in first for that. We're gonna have to wait probably another month for the results for the next 3 weeks because of Mikkel being gone, because he's the judge of it, even though he's one of the
Rest
top
in peace.
competitors too as well. Um, so yeah, Brady, I know you're gonna watch this tomorrow, so shout out Brady. Um, anyone else want to talk about the Bears or just get on with this game?
We can
I
get
just want
on
to
with
say
this
Packers
one.
suck,
I
but
have one thing I want to say, Tim. The Cowboys secondary and pass rush might be one of the worst ones we've seen the last few years.
yeah, that's
After they got 420 or 450 by Russ and then
450.
Caleb Williams doing that.
Yeah.
They are not into a good start. And I was listening to a podcast today at College Football One that actually talked about this was like one of the only games they talked about was the Bears Cowboys, and they just wanted to talk about how bad the Cowboys secondary was.
well, I
I
want
seen a
to say
post today talking about the Cowboys. Their defense is called Make a Wish.
Make-a-wish defense. I want to say that Jordan Love bounces back this week after that god-awful pick. I already said something about it. Um, but I feel like Matt LaFleur is going to call this game like a dumbass too. We all went Packers, so
No, it's in Dallas. This is the game they'll score 40, and then the next game against the Bengals they'll score like 20.
yeah. Packers, we've seen what Jordan Love can do against them in Dallas in that playoff game. Absolutely shit on them. Um, but we all went Green Bay. We've seen in the past that's not a good thing. So, but
Also, no
yeah,
CD Lamb now.
CeeDee Lamb's out. I mean, this is probably just going to be a shit show. But they needed to fill their Sunday night slot with a Cowboys game because we have to watch 5 of those every year. So this is the first one. Um, Anybody have any thoughts on the Cowboys potentially winning this after seeing the Browns what they did to the Packers?
No, I'm gonna call my shot. Matthew Golden, first career touchdown catch this game.
I was saying either last week or this week on Sunday Night Football is when he's gonna have his breakout game, which in that Browns game, they say that that was a perfect throw from Love and everything, and he ran out of bounds. I don't know what he was doing. I feel like he was let out of bounds by the throw, but he easily could have iced that game if he would have just ran down the sideline. He's faster than anyone on that field. So that's a tough look for him, but yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that, Dylan. Josh, I'm sure you have something to say about that Packers game.
Oh, I thought they didn't win the Super Bowl already. I
It's in
just
five
assumed
months,
they
dude.
already
They can
did.
lose some games.
Yeah, that's some smash mouth football for you Green Bay fans. You like that? You
Not
like
everyone
that?
can be the 1972 Dolphins, okay? That's all I'll have to say.
The
Speaking
Browns.
of the Dolphins,
Yeah, speaking of the Dolphins, Why do we have to watch this Monday Night Football doubleheader? Okay, do you guys like the doubleheaders on Monday Night Football or no?
I don't mind it. If one game is shite, you can just watch the other.
The problem is they're usually both terrible.
See?
Yeah.
Then it
I
just gets
mean,
embarrassing.
this is the game we need to flex to Israel.
Yes.
Um, who did I? Oh yeah, I went Dolphins. I think I actually was meaning to go Jets. Nah, it's in Miami. I think.
My
You might need to fact check me on that one too.
Oh,
is Justin
it's in
Fields playing or
Miami.
not?
Up in the air yet so far.
If Tyrod's playing, I'd rather pick the Jets.
That's why I picked the Jets.
No. Well, there we go. Josh, why did you pick the Jets?
Honestly, I expect Fields back, and I expect them to be running all over this Dolphins defense. That's about it. I got nothing to say with Dolphins. Mike McDaniel, I'd hate to waste my breath speaking about that chump.
Dolphins are coming off 10 days rest, and the Jets did put their heart and soul into that Buccaneers loss, so I'm picking the Dolphins for that reason mostly. But
Justin Fields should be back for this game, which maybe changes things a little if you're thinking Tyrod the GOAT is going to be out there. Um, Outside of that, though, I just like the Dolphins offense a lot better than the Jets offense. I think both these teams stink. I think we have three horrible primetime games. And yeah, it's not going to be great for the audience.
Kobe, why did you go Jets?
Honestly, because the Dolphins are fucking terrible. That's why. But no, I think the Jets they'll string another Justin Fields game if he does play. He'll just have one of those random good games, and I think they'll string that together and get a win.
Dylan, you went Dolphins.
Yeah. Just like I said, just their offense, I think. And I know they have two out there, which is disgusting, but they just have more explosive weapons. Um, I hate this football game. Wish it didn't exist. Hate both teams.
Yeah. But then it gets even worse, and we have to watch Browning play football in Denver too against what should be a better defense than the Vikings, even though they absolutely cooked him. That's why you effing cut him. Um, let's see. Does Chase Brown finally do something? Does T. Higgins finally do something?
I mean, Chase Brown should because they should have a 20-point lead.
I hope to God Chase Brown finally does something. I need him in like 3 of my leagues.
Yeah, he's sitting on the bench in my leagues. I have him for Cam Scatterboo in both leagues, actually.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I said they'd have a 20-point lead. I meant they'd be down 20 and hopefully check down to them. But
I was gonna say I was
yeah, no,
wondering
I
if
misspoke. Bo
Plus,
Nix, on the other hand, has not looked that great this year. I saw some stats, and I don't know if it's QBR or which statistic it was, so I won't act like that's what it is. But he was like the 36th rank out of 36 quarterbacks this year. So dead last of all quarterbacks who have played.
so you're
Uh,
telling me that that man was behind Tua?
yeah, it was
Wow.
bad. I'll see if I can find the stats, but it was not a good look. He's the king of overthrows. As someone who has Cortland Sutton in fantasy leagues, I mean, like, let's just put every ball like 3 feet out of his reach and just like act like he did nothing wrong. So dumb.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if this was like obviously they scheduled this thinking it'd be Burrow and Knicks, which would have been a great game for this Monday night doubleheader, but I don't know. I kind of maybe I get some Browns and Broncos vibes from last year on Monday Night Football, or unless that was a Thursday night. I don't remember what it was.
That was Monday.
Oh, it was Monday. Well, I wish the Bengals had Jameis Winston out there throwing the ball just like the Browns did instead of Jake Browning, but
Oh, they have the great value version.
yeah.
Here it is. It's Pro Football Focus ranks Bo Nix as the worst quarterback in the NFL. He's in 36th based on their ratings. 35 is Aaron Rodgers.
Come
34
on
is
now.
Penix. 33 is Tua. 32 is JJ McCarthy. And 31 is Cam Ward.
Did I hear JJ McCarthy there?
Yes, for the two
Did I
games he
did I
played.
hear that?
1-1, 1-1. We take it.
One of those was the Bears. That's an asterisk by that win.
Ah, come on.
All right, anyone else got anything to say? This is a terrible week for NFL. A lot better of a college week this week.
I hope you didn't lose off a David Montgomery BS run at the end of your fantasy matchup last night, and have a good week.
Hope you didn't lose off Lamar touchdown last time
Oh,
with 2 seconds left.
yeah, not that Heston Jorgensen watches this, but Kobe, you got anything to say to him?
Or watches football.
Like I said, his luck will run out. That was here Monday Night Miracle. That was about it.
Kobe's going to get
Goes
gas
in
at Classic
fantasy
Corner
season.
for the next month.
Yeah. He was trying to chirp me last night. It's all right. He can chirp. I'll let him have his victory, but when playoffs come, we'll see. We'll see how we roll there.
Also, one more shout out to Brady Nelson in our Madison League. He is 0-3 now with a 16% chance to make playoffs. His amazing team of just in time. Uh, but yet his one in his keeper league where he just drafted like absolute shit. 3-0.
Yeah, I don't understand how that team is doing so good.
Oh my God.
When Javonte Williams is your RB1,
Yeah.
it just happens to be good this year. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's probably just going to get even better with CeeDee Lamb being out, which is even worse. But we'll be back next week for another week of football. We'll see if there's
And we have one
anything.
more thing to do.
Oh
Thank you,
God.
Cason. Read it off, Tim.
Wait. Oh, you want me to compare these two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick.
Everyone listen up. So we have player A and player B. So player A, 136 games, 11,423 rushing yards, 106 rushing touchdowns, 4.9 average, 174 catches, 1,651 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. Then we have player B, 120 games, 1,000 or 11,675 rushing yards, 102 touchdowns, 4.9 average, 238 catches, 1,937 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. Out of those two, who are you picking? I know it's hard.
This is a trick question for some reason.
I know it's hard because there's not like the things up on the screen, but
I feel like this is like a Derrick Henry or some fucking.
you might be right.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is Derrick Henry and somebody else. I just have a feeling.
Did you check the chat at all today, Kobe?
No. Well,
Oh, there's a
I
big
I
debate
glanced
going
I
on.
glanced at it a little bit and then I just got busy, so I just kept.
Big debate going on, and it was who's the freak athlete out of those two, and it was Derrick Henry and Adrian Peterson. No one's gonna say player A or B. Anybody?
Oh, come on. I
Jake,
worked hard on this.
Cason, you got player A, player B?
I know the results. When just by looking at it, I knew who it was.
Just for shits and giggles, let's go player B.
Josh, Dillon,
I'll go B as well.
Dillon.
He's gone.
Oh, he left. Well, player B is Adrian Peterson, so you answered wrong. But if we're talking freak athlete, I don't understand how anyone is saying Adrian Peterson is more of a freak athlete than Derrick Henry is. That was the debate today, Kobe.
I feel they're both very freakish. Size wise, I mean, not too many guys that are 6'4", 260 pounds are doing what Derrick Henry does, especially with as many carries as he's got. I mean, he's got more carries in high school than most people have in their lifetime. So I mean, I do get both because I mean, Peterson was very good, um, and much of a freak on his own. But I mean, if you're just going freak of nature just off of like body type and everything, I would go Derrick Henry off of that.
Thank you. See, I never took away from what Peterson did, but I'm like, bro, if you put those two side by side, how are you not saying Derrick Henry is more of a freak athlete than AP?
I have another question here.
Oh God.
So, just speaking of Derrick Henry, I seen a TikTok the other day about Ray Lewis and Derrick Henry, and they asked Ray Lewis if he met Derrick Henry in the hole. He said it was gonna be a bad day for Derrick Henry.
Oh, oh.
Gonna get
He
stabbed.
he's he said you get him in the hole, bad day for Derrick Henry. You get him outside, he likes Derrick Henry's odds, but he said in the hole, I got this all day.
What about in Atlanta?
I mean, we are talking about a murderer here, so
I don't know. Ray Lewis is tough. I would actually love to see that. That would be a
As if there's one linebacker in history who in the hole might take Henry, though, I think it might be Ray Lewis.
that would definitely be probably one of the loudest pod paps I would ever frickin'
if
hear.
there's also one safety that could pop Derrick Henry, it would have been Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor would, yeah. Let's get Brian Mormon on here.
I said I think the only player outside I would love to see versus Derrick Henry is Cam Chancellor.
That would be fun.
There's one guy I'd like to see meet Derrick Henry in the hole. It's
Brady
middle
Nelson.
linebacker, number 55, Brady Nelson.
Oh, you'd
Would
have
that-
everyone
would
in the
it-
stands. Watch 55. Watch 55. Just boom.
Brady Nelson would end up like Tua after his concussion.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Literally, that version of Brady Nelson you're seeing right there is like 160 pounds.
A pure muscle, meat, hamster.
Muscle.
Hey, can we get a Doug Martin and Brady Nelson in the hole?
Now that's the matchup everybody wants to see.
Yes, little muscle hamsters.
All right. Well, I hope Brady watches this to the end so he could hear all that. We will be back next week. Like I said, better college week than it is NFL this week, probably. But we'll be back next week like we always are.